Hey guys, Kristy Rice here. I am the author of Painterly Days, the watercoloring books for adults, and I'm going to get started with a demo on watercolor washes today. This is great for just pure watercolor painting on any surface, or of course in the watercoloring books. So let me get started here. I'm adding just some warm water to each color well. And I am using Daniel Smith watercolors today for this demo, and I'm using a very limited palette. So here we go. I am doing a quick stop motion, guys, so this doesn't take so terribly long, but I'm adding a lot of water, a little bit of pigment, a lot of water here. Two different colors, an alizarin crimson, and then an opera pink, which is that very bright pink color. I tend to work in bigger areas, but guys, you don't have to. As you see, I'm starting to get into smaller areas, but I tend to start in bigger areas. I am adding water all over the petals in certain areas, and then you can see I'm taking darker pigment on my brush with less water and kind of almost creating an outline in certain areas. And then I'm blotting my brush on a paper towel and going back in with a little clean water to move that color around right against the surface of where I just put down that darker outline of pigment. So that is a trick, guys, is just to lay down color and then clean your brush, get a little darker pigment on there, and then clean your brush again and bring some water back onto the page and blend it out. Now again, I'm using a limited color palette here. So two different greens. One is more of a grass green and then one is more of a teal. I'm using the opera pink and the alizarin crimson. I'm using a putty-like color. I think it's called buff. And let's see, what else am I using here? I'm using Moon Glow. So that is about it. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colors. So you don't have to invest a ton of your resources into a huge palette to enjoy these watercoloring books, guys. It can just be 6 tubes, real high quality. That is what Daniel Smith is. You won't believe the pigment. Oh my goodness. I do recommend a very affordable palette in the book from Michaels, and absolutely that's a great way to start. But if you're feeling yourself wanting more color as you're going on, by all means, pick up some Daniel Smith tubes and you won't regret it. So I'm working on the butterfly here, guys. Same technique. I washed a blue, very little pigment, lots of water on my brush, washed that into the entire surface of the butterfly, and then I added a little bit of that teal color on the edges near the center where the wings meet, and then I cleaned off my brush, got clean water back on the brush, and applied that to the butterfly again near that teal color, which allows things to just blend and bleed together. If you're noticing as you're going, you lay down water, you lay down color on an area, and it just seems too soupy, or the dark color that you put down is bleeding too much into the light color, take a paper towel in your left hand, or whichever is your non-dominant hand, and just use that brush and blot and dry off the brush and blot the brush and dry off the brush, and you can start kind of scooping up some of the wet color with your dry brush on the page, and that really works nicely. Really works nicely. Going ahead at using the same technique again on this bigger butterfly, and I'm outlining more of the areas. I added a little buff there while the butterfly surface was wet. And you see there's no bleed through, guys, none at all. This is a quick demo, guys, but I wanted to give you a little review and a little bit of insight into watercolor washes. But as you can see, absolutely no bleed through on the other side. I want to show you the brushes that I'm using here. Both of these, guys, are recommended in the back of the book. It's in the back cover. I'm going to zoom in here. We've got the red brush is the University series that I recommend. The Winsor & Newton University series, a great, really affordable brush. And then the other is the Royal & Langnickel, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, that is a dagger, 1/8 inch dagger, and just a fantastic brush So you can get those at mrart.com. I'll put that link in the description on the video here, guys. Thank you so much. More demos coming your way. Hope you're enjoying the books.